it was discussed that he for sure did not prioritize correctly. It was discussed that he kind of was prioritizing his after-school activities because those are the activities that bring him joy. And I very much encouraged that. I also encouraged him to continue with working at ensuring that he is acting as if he's a student. So we prioritized assignments that had the farthest away due date, also the ones that were worth the most points in order to better affect his grade. During that time, we kind of discussed how he was using the word "I can't" a lot. I can't do this. I can't do everything that I need to do. I can't prioritize this. Everything's important. So I kind of started to reframe his statements as soon as he started speaking. He would say, "I can't." I would say, "I can," or I would add "yet" to the end of his sentence. So I can't complete this I can't complete this physics homework, and then I would add "yet." So then I would assist him in trying to find the notes he would need, just kind of modeling how to move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Also during that, I was very celebratory. I highlighted all of his hard work and discussed progress that he has made within his classes. And afterwards, he returned to the general education language arts classroom. And then I followed probably about 20-30 seconds afterwards so as not to draw any further attention to him. To reflect, I removed him from class so he could be moved from a fixed mindset. So he was sitting in his fixed mindset, and I removed him and allowed him to kind of get up and move. We developed a mutually agreed upon priority system. We created a list of things that he needs to complete and in order of priority, reduced the stress that he was experiencing because there was a plan, and I provided him with helpful hints to assist in managing stress in the future, such as standing up and walking and going and getting a drink, or making a list, things along those lines. For learning goals, developing learning goals. Learning goals should be created at the beginning of the year and modified and revised as needed throughout the year. So they are not concrete. Things I read also stated that people added new learning goals as the year progressed. So I also believe that would be very beneficial as well, because students' goals and needs change throughout the year. So focusing on student strengths and progress in the process of learning, just kind of ensuring that we're meeting them at their level so the goals are attainable. Also allowing students to have their own responsibility so they can track their own progress. Then when we start to achieve learning goals, they set their own goals and they are seeing their own progress. So they're marking on a sheet as they go how they're making progress towards their goals. And then teachers will be, like, I would meet with my students at least every other week, discuss any progress they've made, look at their goal progress sheet, visually confirming that, kind of giving them positive feedback. The learning goal artifact. So basically, her goal that we set was to reduce the amount of missing assignments in language arts by 25% in order to increase mastery of language arts concepts. So we actually exceeded that because I set the bar really low. So she had 10 missing assignments at the beginning of the analyzed time period. At the midpoint, so 2 weeks, at the midpoint check-in, she had 7 or fewer missing assignments. At the semester check-in, she had 5 or fewer. So pretty regularly, she was reducing her amount of missing assignments by 2. So that could probably be averaged out to probably 1 a week that she's able to do, because remember, as she's trying to complete assignments that she's missing, she's also having to keep up with the current work that's happening within class. So her maintenance objective, that's what we moved it to, because by the end of the semester, she had 0 assignments missing. So We moved it to a maintenance objective, meaning that we would stay around 0 to 2 assignments missing in all of the language arts course, the remainder of the course for the year. And that also reduces the amount of monitoring that I do. So instead of every other week, I would meet with her probably once a month and just kind of go over missing assignments, things like that. Her baseline is 6 missing assignments at the end of the last language arts course. So we're actually making a large amount of progress in this area. Learning goals artifact reflection. So because the teacher is continuously monitoring progress and discussing the efficacy of the goal with the student remains engaged in maintaining expectations as outlined by the teacher and student collaboration. So there's regular progress monitoring. There's a setting of a goal that's attainable that is agreed upon between the teacher and the student. A review of attainability. So we're going to talk about whether or not we think that we can attain this goal and whether or not we think that this is an effective goal for us to even set. Outlining of action steps to meet and exceed goal. So I obviously always put like a positive spin on stuff. So when we outline our action steps, basically we're stating that we need to, the steps that we need to do in order to meet our goal. They are agreed upon by the teacher and the student. That's kind of like a verbal contract that we have between each other, that we know that the student knows what we need to do. Feedback. So giving the student feedback basically pretty regularly during regular check-ins. So bi-weekly at the beginning and then monthly afterwards. It will be available to students through email or on post-it notes, whichever a student elects. So I like to let students decide how they want to receive their feedback, because sometimes, a student doesn't want a post-it note because they're going to lose it, or sometimes they don't want an email because they never check their email. So it just depends on how they determine they would like to have the communication with me. Feedback is always confidential. It will always happen regularly, either after a check-in or when I observe students doing something that exceeds the expectation for the goal. Also tangibly, if a student decides that they do better when they have it in their hand. So that's if a post-it note is chosen. Intrinsic motivation. So when you develop how you can develop intrinsic motivation is allowing for a choice, increasing fulfillment and engagement. So basically you're allowing students to choose the assignment type. So you're giving them an overall subject, and then they choose the type of assignment they want to do, whether it be a paper, a presentation, a physical diorama, something like that. Subject. So when just looking to ensure that students are able to create a presentation or write a paper, you're allowing them to choose their own subject, method of presentation. So like I said, you can do a PowerPoint presentation, Google Slides, a poster, a sculpture, however a student would enjoy communicating with what their information that they found, communicating with their class or with their teacher, the information that they have found. So improving intrinsic motivation would be providing and receiving positive feedback. So being intentional with your feedback, positive criticism that's specific and empowering will help people understand your standards and expectations. So saying something along the lines of just like, good job. So we have to be more specific than that, because good job, obviously, yeah, I did the entire thing. Like, I know I did a good job. However, what does that mean? Like, what did I do a good job on? Just making sure that we are intentionally saying, oh, I very much enjoyed your presentation. Your slides were very informative and educational. Make sure that you are following along with the rubric, and also ensure that you are staying within your time period. Something like that. And then my works cited page. Thank you.